So there was this powerful moment at Roy Moore's final campaign rally last night, and it involved a father named Nathan Mathis, who was holding a sign with a picture of his daughter, who he says was a lesbian, who committed suicide when she was 23 years old. Mathis is a peanut farmer, and he is condemning Roy Moore's past comments on homosexuality.
You're supposed to uphold the Constitution. The Constitution said all men are created equal. Well, how's my daughter a pervert just because she was gay? Dad, I was anti-gay myself. I said bad things to my daughter myself, which I regret. He said all gay people are perverts, abominations. That's not true. We don't need a person like that representing us in Washington.
And that dad, Nathan Mathis, joins us now. Mr. Mathis, thank you very much for joining us via FaceTime as you are. Can you tell us why you felt so strongly that you wanted to go to Roy Moore's campaign stop last night and deliver that message?
Well, I feel guilty about my daughter taking her own life by what I said, but a man to go to Washington who would say openly that my daughter is a pervert just because she's gay, he didn't even know my daughter, and for him to be charged, or not charged, but accused, these women accusing him of going out with them when they were young teenage girls, 14 to 17-year-old. If my daughter was a pervert, he is worse than a sorry pervert. He don't need to be in Washington, D.C.
Mr. Mathis, let me just read for our viewers what you're referring to. So this was a decision that Judge Roy Moore made when he was the Chief Justice in Alabama about homosexuality. And let me just read the opinion that he wrote. Homosexual conduct is and has been considered abhorrent, immoral, detestable, a crime against nature, and a violation of the laws of nature and of nature's God, upon which this nation and our laws are predicated. The common law adopted in this state and upon which our laws are premised likewise declares homosexuality to be detestable and an abominable sin. How do you hear those words now?
Well, I grew up going to Church of Christ. I was there every time the doors opened. I've heard that from the pulpit numerous times, and I believe that myself. But after having the experience from my daughter and seeing real life like it really is, I realized how wrong that was. My daughter was a good person. My daughter was not no damn pervert, as Roy Moore called her. And Roy Moore, by going out with them teenage girls, he does not deserve to be in the United States Senate. It's just that simple. The man needs to be in a sick ward somewhere with a psychiatrist trying to help him get better.
And Mr. Mathis, I hear your regret about even how you treated your daughter or the things that you said to her and how you've changed and how, you know, your perspective about homosexuality has changed. Can you tell us a little bit more about what happened with your daughter, Patty Sue?
Well, Patty came to me after we had the altercation, and she cried, said, "Daddy, I don't want to be gay. Will you help me get some help?" So I took her to UAB hospital. The doctors did tests all day long. Finally, they called us in there with her mother about 4:30 in the afternoon. They said, "Young lady, you can't help the way you are. There's not a thing we can do for you." And I said, "Man, this doctor's crazy as a bat." And so then we went to other doctors and psychiatrists. Everyone told my daughter the same thing. We can't do a thing about the way you are, and you can't do anything about the way you are.
And how, and then she was despondent after that? I mean, what happened to her to get to the point to take her life?
Well, she was not planning on killing herself that day because she had filled her car up with gas about 12, and the man at the gas station where she charged the gas to me said she was going to go down to Panama City later that day. But then that afternoon, one of the neighbors saw her in the yard talking to a girl, and my daughter liked to cut clothes on it. She was going to cut grass in with a riding lawnmower. She never cut any grass, and something, whatever happened between her and that girl, I guess is what triggered it. I found her dead in the house where she had shot herself, and it was a terrible experience, and I have guilt feelings about it every day. But what happened to me could happen to you. It could happen to anybody that's watching this program. It could be your child, your grandchild, your great-grandchild, Are you going to vote for a man that calls your child or grandchild a pervert just because they're born gay? There's something wrong with this picture. Roy Moore does not deserve to be in the United States Senate.
Well, Nathan Mathis, we appreciate your candor. We appreciate you sharing with us how you've worked your way around to acceptance and the message that you want to send out to Alabama voters. We're sorry for your loss. Thank you so much for joining us on New Day.
Thank y'all. Have a good day.
You too. Chris.
All right, obviously very personal for that man. It projects onto an issue that the voters are going to have to weigh in on today. We'll be watching that Alabama race very carefully. Let's talk about what the stakes are here with CNN political analyst